Prophecy reading about the Millennium Kingdom from J. Leland Earls. Let me speak to you, my people, about the kingdom era which is to come. Is it not even that 1,000-year day of rest, which you read in my word? It is that day when man shall have rest from all the oppressions of the enemy, even Satan. For I shall cause the enemy to be bound, and he shall not deceive the nations any more for 1,000 years. And shall not there be peace and righteousness everywhere? And shall not my people enjoy the fruits of their labors? And shall not there be an abundance of joy in the earth? How, I say, will it be possible for conditions such as these to manifest? Is it just because Satan will be bound? No, it is more than this. For I will spread a canopy of righteousness over the earth by means of the righteous rulers who will be in charge of all things. For all things shall be governed by that body, which shall be raised up to me and glorified by me. For those in that body shall no longer be of the earth, neither bound by the things of the earth. Neither will they be tempted in any way by the desires and concerns of those who are yet in the flesh. For they will have completely overcome all things, and they will have been conformed to the image of the man Christ Jesus. They will be ruling and reigning with him, and they will carry out his commandments in everything. Even so will they be able to govern in righteousness all the affairs of the earth. Since they will not be of the earth, they will not be influenced by the things of the earth. But in complete victory, they will be living in the heavenly realms surrounding the earth, even the realms where my light and glory are manifest. They will go and come from that central throne, which will be established in the heavenlies above the earth. They will carry out their responsibilities on the earth, and they shall return to receive instruction and counsel. Even so shall I spread this canopy of righteous judgment and justice over the earth. For is it not written that your eyes shall see your teachers? See Isaiah 30 verses 20. And does not this refer to the time when the glorified saints will appear from time to time to those that are on the earth and teach them of my will for them? And is it not written that they shall hear a voice saying, This is the way, walk in it? Even so shall my glorified saints be on duty, to speak at times to those who need instruction and guidance. And their voice shall be heard, and those who hear will know that the Lord of glory is guiding them. And now, would you know further that which I will do in the days that are coming? I will make all nations come to Jerusalem, to give recognition and honor to the central government, which will be established there. Official representatives shall come annually to Jerusalem and receive teaching and guidance for their lands in the ways of the Lord. Some nations will be more submissive than others. Those nations which have known the gospel and have lived in the Christian tradition and understanding shall be joined together in subjection to the Jerusalem government. They shall constitute a confederacy of nations, which will be known as the Kingdom of Israel, for they shall be joined in one with the regenerated physical seed of Israel, which will then be dwelling in the land of promise. And these two together, the physical seed of Abraham, who have accepted the Lord and have come under his rule, shall be joined in confederacy with those nations of the spiritual seed of Abraham, where the truth has been fully accepted, and where the governments are in full accord with the principles of righteousness set down by the Jerusalem government. These are the two sticks which will be joined together in that day to form one confederacy of nations. See Ezekiel 37:15-19. The one is the stick of Judah, which stands for the physical seed of Abraham, purged and purified, and brought out into the bond of the new covenant. The other will be the stick of Ephraim, or the Christian nations, which have received the fullness of the gospel, and have come into the bond of the covenant as the spiritual heirs of promise. These two joined together will constitute the physical environs of the kingdom in that day. Outside the realm of these kingdom nations, there will be other nations which are not as spiritually advanced. Neither will their peoples have had sufficient background and understanding in the ways of the Lord for them to be fully ready to yield to the Jerusalem government. Even so shall they be required to give a token of allegiance to that government and present themselves to the Lord in Jerusalem. The light of my truth will not penetrate as fully into these nations as in the nation aligned with the Jerusalem government. Even so, will they be slower to respond to that which will be known in that day, as my ways are revealed through my chosen representatives from Jerusalem. For is it not written, that out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem? Even so, does Zion represent that canopy of righteous rule, which shall be spread over the earth, as my glorified saints are given charge of all things. But from Jerusalem shall my word and my truth be declared, as my chosen servants of that day go forth to proclaim that which I require for life and immortality. For I will make known the requirements that are necessary for the inhabitants of the earth to enter into deathless life. Even so shall many that are born in that day fulfill those requirements and continue to live without seeing death. Many of these shall live until the end of the millennium, when they shall be translated into the heavenly kingdom. Others will continue to live in deathless life on earth, and even beyond the millennium. I say to you, I'm beginning to give my people a glimpse of my vast plan which covers the ages to come. For my people have been so limited in their understanding, and have been so woefully ignorant of that which I purpose to accomplish on this earth in the ages to come. Therefore, I am beginning to give a larger view of that which is coming, that my people may wonder at that which I have planned, and will love me because of the greatness and goodness of my purpose. And now, would you know further of the conditions which shall exist on the earth? It shall be even as a mountain that is elevated above all the other mountains and hills. So shall the mountain or kingdom of the Lord be exalted above all other kingdoms or nations. For the glory of the Lord shall be present, and the conditions of life and health and prosperity in the kingdom shall be so much greater, that all nations shall look to Jerusalem and the kingdom to receive understanding in the ways of the Lord. And many shall say, Let us go up to the mountain or kingdom of the Lord, and learn his ways. Even so shall they come to seek understanding and wisdom in all the ways of the Lord. And ambassadors of the kingdom shall go out into all nations, to teach them that which the Lord would have them to know. And there shall be many who will say, Let us seek the Lord, and let us join ourselves to the kingdom of the Lord. As time goes on, other nations shall be joined to the kingdom confederacy of nations, and the borders of the kingdom shall be ever enlarging to receive more nations. But there shall be other nations that shall want to maintain their independent station, and shall not become a part of the kingdom confederacy. Eventually, towards the close of the millennium, they shall begin to be turned away from the ways of the Lord, more and more. And in spite of the glory and greatness of that which is seen in the kingdom realm, they will want to assert their own independency and develop their own ways. Liberal trends of thinking will become popular, and many shall begin to study and think of the way things once were in the days before the millennium, and they will be deceived into thinking that they can build a civilization even greater than that in the kingdom realm. They shall begin to be puffed up with pride, desiring to make their own way and build their own society, and they will begin to lust for things that have largely been done away with during the increasing righteous rule of the millennium years. And again, they will be in a condition which will cause them to be ready to be deceived by Satan and his hosts. Loving not the truth, they shall be turned away to vanity. And once again, at the close of the millennium, the Lord will allow Satan to go forth to bring delusion and blindness, because the hearts of the people in these nations will not be right toward God. Satan will cause them to turn more and more to desire their own ways. They will begin to throw off the yoke of the Jerusalem government to which they have had to give token allegiance, and will rebel at any attempt to bring further understanding of the Lord's ways. Even so shall there be a gradual cleavage and division between those nations which are in the kingdom realm and are in complete subjection to the Jerusalem government, and those nations which want to assert their own independency. This division will grow over a period of time until there is a complete cleavage, and once again, a Satan-inspired society begins to grow in the earth. The Lord will not directly intervene to stop this, because it is in his purpose to once again test the inhabitants of the earth and cause them to see the vanity of their own ways. Thus, as their hearts are turned away from the Lord, Satan is once again loosed from his prison to deceive those nations which have asserted their independency and have desired to be free to pursue their own ways. And having been deceived, they shall gradually begin to lay the foundation for another full-scale rebellion against God and His anointed. Think not that these things shall occur in a short period of time, for I say to you, it has taken Satan many hundreds of years to bring man to the state of chaos and rebellion which is being manifested today, a rebellion so great that I will have to intervene and bring judgment. This has Satan been able to do with man in his present state of corruption and defilement through sin. Now consider, after the great millennium of peace and righteousness, when Satan is again loosed for a little season, the world will have had the benefit of several hundred years of blessings, of the light and truth in practical demonstration and application. Think not that Satan will be able to turn the hearts of people in a short time. It will again take many hundreds of years before Satan is again able to launch any kind of rebellion which will reach the scope where divine interference will again become a necessity. For I say to you, there are yet many ages which will come and go before the final rebellion which you read about in Revelation chapter 20, verses 8 to 9. And many hundreds, yes, thousands, will have entered into a state of deathless life on earth. Therefore, the influence of righteousness will be great, even after Satan has piled his deceptions for hundreds of years. And many millenniums will come and go before he finally is able to deceive to the extent that entire nations are once again in the web of his delusions. So consider not that which man has taught, neither that which makes the word of God of no effect. For I will reveal by my Spirit in this day many mysteries which have been hidden, and none shall understand except those who are drawn by me, because I perceive that their hearts are ready to receive further light and revelation. In Revelations 20 verses 3, it is written that Satan is again loosed for a little season. Again, think not that I reckon time according to your limited concepts. For is it not written that one day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as one day? Therefore, if one day is as 1,000 years, a little season is surely a period of time extending beyond a day or two. And now, consider that which I would reveal concerning those times beyond the 1,000 year of peace. I say to you, the millennium of peace which is about to break upon the inhabitants of the earth is the Sabbath of rest after 6,000 years of labor. It completes that cycle of redemption in which a minimum of my children will have come into the full regeneration which I have purposed. For is it not written that on the 8th day all male children were to be circumcised? And is not circumcision that rite which pictures the complete regeneration of the inner man, whereby the reproach of this world and its flesh is completely severed, and the life is fully launched into that higher realm which I have ordained, operating in a glorious body, which is able to enter into even higher realms of glory and power in me. Therefore, consider that it will take 1,000 years for those who are ruling and reigning with me to so counsel, instruct, and watch over the inhabitants of the earth, that a minimum number of my children will reach the place where they can be fully and completely liberated into the higher realms, even as the church, which is my body, shall have entered in at the beginning of the millennium. For is it not written that the church, the true called out ones, who shall be fully and completely called out of the world, at the close of the earth's tribulation, are a kind of first fruits of my creatures? And that the church which is my body is of first fruits of my greater harvest, then it will take 1,000 years before the harvest is ready to be reaped, and fully regenerated and translated into the heavenly realms. This will take place at the beginning of the 8th day, following the 1,000-year Sabbath of peace and righteousness. And then shall follow another day, as my plan continues to unfold upon the earth. There shall be much that shall take place during the 8th day, and following, which will lead the inhabitants of the earth into a fuller understanding of all that I have purposed. There shall also be a further development in the activities of Satan, to bring about his final attempt to overthrow that which is of my righteous will and design. But he shall not succeed. For that which I will establish in the earth in a kingdom of truth and righteousness, shall ever increase in power and dominion. Those nations, which Satan shall eventually bring under his control, shall not be able to deter that which I'll be accomplishing in the kingdom confederacy of nations. But those nations, which have spurned my perfect will for them, shall eventually come into an understanding of the nature of certain mysteries in the physical makeup of things, and they will feel confident of their ability to completely destroy that which is within the kingdom conclave. They will set about to develop a super weapon that will completely destroy what they consider the fanaticism of those who are aligned with the Jerusalem government. Having perfected their plan to eliminate all opposition to their scheme of world domination, they shall strike at the very stronghold of kingdom rule, even Jerusalem and its environs. They shall encompass that which is called in the book of Revelation the camp of the saints. This they will do by means of electronic equipment designed to focus destructive implements of a super secret nature on a central target. Having completed their plans, they shall begin to set in motion their diabolical plot. But before they are able to fully accomplish that which they purpose, the Lord of glory shall descend with fiery destruction from on high. The entire earth's atmosphere shall be set aflame, and the earth will receive a baptism of fire, as the very elements melt with fervent heat. The inhabitants of the kingdom realm shall be changed instantly, as their bodies put on the glory of the heavenly. Those who are not ready to be changed shall be destroyed as far as the physical is concerned. All the inhabitants of the nations which had conceived the rebellion shall be instantly consumed. The result of the earth's baptism of fire will be a complete new heavens and new earth. The sea shall be no more, as the elements are dissolved and changed. The earth will be launched into a new realm in the skies, and its onward progress in the purpose which I have ordained. The earth shall then be ready for a further manifestation of life, but of a different nature than that which exists on it. Now, when, do you ask, shall all of these things be? Again, I say, think not that they shall occur in a short period of time, for it shall take another cycle of time after the completion of the present week of manifestation, which is consummated by the Millennium Sabbath. After that next cycle and its concluding Sabbath shall all of the above things be. Therefore, behold the glory of your God and his unfolding purpose, and prepare your heart to receive of his goodness in this hour.